Gosh darn it, is it great to have hobbies. That's the theme of this, of today's episode. Having hobbies. The lawnmower had just started right when I started recording. I wonder if you had noticed it, if I had not said anything. So we got another early one today. We're doing this early in the morning. I actually kind of like it in the morning. Something to reflect on as I progress throughout the day and etc. So let's see. I got a gift card from my job for my 6-year anniversary of being with the company, and I got $200 to commemorate that tenure. And initially the first thing I thought of spending it on was the Prolon fasting mimicking diet, which is basically a program. I may have mentioned it in the past, but essentially it is a 5-day program where they send you meal kits for 5 days that puts you on an extremely reduced calorie restriction. I think the first day it's at like 1100, then the second day is 800, then the third day is like 600, and then the fourth day is like 600, and then I think the fifth day is like 600 or 800. And you go through all 5 days, and pretty much at the end of it you lose 5 to 6, maybe 7 pounds. And this will be my third time doing it. I typically do it in segments of once a month for 3 months. I'm only going to be doing it 1 month, 5 days in June. That's because I don't feel like spending out all of the money. But if you get a box of 3, you spend $500 for that. You do it 1 month and then another month consecutively, and then you finish on the third month. And the results, I'll never forget it the first time I did it back in 2021. I was just so happy with the results. I did it again in 2022 where I spent the money. The first time, my roommate actually hooked me up with 2 boxes, and then I just ended up purchasing the third box myself, which was like really cool. And I liked it so much that I actually shelled out the money back in 2022 for all 3 boxes, and it was $500. And I even gave 2 to my girlfriend. So I've spent a lot of money on Prolon, and I've been thinking about Prolon all year because of how effective it is. And the only reason why I haven't committed to making that purchase again is because I know deep down that essentially what it is you're fasting. You're on an extreme calorie restriction. And you have the ability to fast without any kind of food intake or caloric intake for days on end, and I just haven't succeeded in that. The longest water fast that I've ever achieved is 72 hours, and that was one time. I've only done that once. It was difficult, and it's that. But still, I got $200, and it was unexpected, and to me I saw it as a gift, and I gifted myself with another Prolon box of 5 days. So I'm looking forward to receiving that. It's not that I look bad now, but like I said to start off this video, it's really nice having hobbies. And if my hobby is getting in the best shape ever, not just for myself, but existing in the 1% of most aesthetic physiques on the planet, that's whatever we do in order to achieve that is that's the thing that gets done. It's wonderful to have lofty goals and then to find out the steps that are necessary to achieve them. To me, there's nothing more satisfying. I don't know. I can't speak for everyone. There are some people who achieve fulfillment from being in a relationship, being a parent, doing good at their job. That's all fine. For me, it's always been having a passion, having a dream, having a goal, and not even necessarily achieving it, but taking the steps. I am on the path to achieve my goals. And I will say that at this point, it has become much more important to me to see things through than ever before. I am a changing individual, and to consider exactly who I am turning myself into, it's a person who finishes what he starts. What more can you ask for? Law-abiding citizen, etc. Another thing I've been thinking about is I really want to have a future podcast episode on the apex frequency, the dichotomy between instant pleasure and long-lasting success. Both feel good in the moment, but one is obviously far more rewarding than the other. I don't know, I think I want to play with that some more, and it's not necessarily something that I just want to sit and talk to myself about. I would like to get another brain with me and discuss this topic of the dichotomy between instant pleasure and long-lasting success. The type of success that you have to put days and weeks and months of effort into in order to achieve, as opposed to instant pleasure, getting laid, eating a really good meal, laying your head down to sleep, smoking some weed, watching a movie. All of these things to stimulate our brains and appease us, pacify us in the interim before we get closer and closer to death. Sure, it's nice. It's definitely a more pleasant time to get some fellatio than to slave away at work. If you had the option between the two, a person would most likely pick oral pleasure over working long hours. It's just that simple. But the destination, the thing that we get as a result of working long hours, putting that time in, does that truly equate to something as fleeting as an orgasm? I don't think so. However, the orgasm is more immediate, it's ever present, and you can see it. It's right in front of you, as opposed to that long-lasting success that is so far away. And so we get distracted by the instant pleasures. So there is that. Okay, well, still having an issue with weekends. Still overeating on weekends. The weekdays are actually pretty easy. I stick to a pretty restrictive diet. However, yes, this Monday I stepped on the scale and I was a pound or two more than what I was last week, which was actually incredibly disappointing. This is the best I've ever looked in my 200s I look very shapely. I can't say lean because I'm not lean, but I look like I'm in shape. And typically when I'm above 200, I look a lot fatter. So it's being distributed better, probably because I'm having intense workouts. So that's something to keep in mind. Whereas in the past, when I typically go above 200, I get to 205 or something like that. I'm not working out either, and I'm overeating. And the shit that I'm overeating is like garbage. High sugar, high fats, donuts, cheesecake, things of that nature. And I can really see the difference that has on my body, as opposed to, for the most part, I am doing clean eating and I am working out regularly. So my body reflects that differently than if I wasn't doing those things, which is kind of interesting. Same body weight, just a different body recomposition. Not the destination though. Not where we're going to end up. Where we're going to end up is likely, I mean, the final destination, this is years down the line, but the final destination is probably like 190. Yeah, 190 sounds good, because my legs will be bigger, I'll be leaner, and I'll have my calories dialed in so that 190 is going to be like 7% body fat. Ooh, 190 and 7% body fat is, I'm scared of that, dude. I want to shake that dude's hand, you know? And like I said, that's years from now. What's next up is 180, 185, and we're still chasing the 5% body fat, which is closer to 180, if not lower. I don't really want to go below 180 because I really want to maintain my muscle mass, and I'm building my legs. I'm doing so much, a lot of things. But again, it goes back to, you gotta have a fucking passion. This is my passion. This is my hobby. Aside from that, interpersonal relations, writing, human development, growth, health and wellness. All of these things. My website is now live, The Way of the Shred, wayoftheshred.com. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I'm not the happiest with it, but it's a starting point. Just like everything else that I'm doing, it's just a starting point. So, not disappointed with where I'm starting. I'm looking forward to growing in all the ways. All right, well, this has been another day. Things are going up. Started this year with so much momentum, and now it's a process of slowly getting back into that. But fuck momentum, fuck motivation. Let's talk about the routine. Let's focus on the routine. Day in and day out. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Not that you will. But you could if you felt like it. Peace. We out here. Let's do this.